Enough is enough. I can't go on. I can't go on no more now. I don't have anyone to practice English with. No one. I know that English is important. I know that it's important for my personal life because I know it's an international global language and I want the ability to communicate with people all over the world. And I know that English is important because, see, I have a job. And I use English a lot on my job because I speak with international customers. I have international customers and clients, but I don't have anyone to speak English with. What am I gonna do? Let me ask you a question. Do you know anybody out there, maybe your family members, your friends, your colleagues, that have said they don't have anyone to speak English with, or they don't have anyone to practice English with? Do you know anyone out there like that who has made that comment and actually believes that comment? Now, I'm not here to make a judgment. People that want to practice their English and people that want to improve their speaking in English, if they say and believe that there is nobody to practice English with, that is a problem. And problems are real. But yet, what's important for me is I just don't like to focus on problems. I like to focus on solutions. So for those of you that think that there is no one in the world to practice your English with, or no one in the world to speak English with, I have a couple of suggestions for you that might be a particular solution. What are they, you might ask? Do you have any? I think so. Hey, take a look in the mirror. You can practice English and speak English with yourself. That's right. You can practice English by yourself. Do you have a smartphone? Most smartphones have a recorder. Most smartphones have video capability. You can practice and speak English by yourself, with yourself. If I'm listening to a movie or listening to music or watching a television series, if there's something that I like, I can speak English to myself. Wow, that's a really wonderful movie. I'm understanding the plot. I didn't like that character. Can you believe what happened? So, speak English, practice English by yourself. I have a question for you. Do you have access to the internet? Do you have an internet connection? Do you know there's something in the world out there called social media? That's right, social media. There are different social media sites that you can use to improve your English, that you can practice, that you can speak. Now, maybe you don't know that these social media sites exist. But you know what? I'm here to help you, provide you assistance, because you identified a problem, so I want to give you a solution. Guess what? Check out. These are just some social media sites that might help you with your English that you can practice and speak with. Guess what? If you want to practice your English and speak English, there are applications that are available for you to use, practice your English. Now, maybe you don't know of these particular applications. All right? Maybe you don't. It's fine. If you don't know anything, that's fine. But here are some applications that you can use to improve your English. Now, some of these applications are for free. Doesn't cost you a thing. And there are some applications that give you basic services, and then if you want enhanced services or additional services, you might have to pay. But, wait a minute. I don't have anyone to practice English with. How about an application? But wait! Are there more resources available to practice your English with? I got a question for you. What is the name of the place where a person goes to acquire knowledge? Like, where do you go? What's the name of the place to acquire knowledge? Why do I have this chair? Guess what? If you want to practice your English, you can go to language schools, institutes. That's right. You can go to an English school or institute to practice and speak your English. Now, here's the beautiful thing. Guess what? There are language schools online. There even might be language schools and institutes within your city or your respective country. Now, I don't know if there is or not, but what I do know is you have an opportunity to take the initiative, be proactive, and actually look. But yes, there are language schools. I used to work for one. And I dare you to dare yourself. I challenge you to challenge yourself to type on the internet, if you have an internet connection, type in online language schools in your city, in your country. Or possibly, if you have a bicycle, if you have a car, if you have 2 feet, you can walk and see. So, I don't have anybody to practice English with. Language school? Wait, is there any more? Any other ways to practice my English with? I think there is. What is the name of a person that assists another human being or a learner in terms of achieving their individual goals? This person, synonyms for this person could be mentor, coach, guide. This person has the ability to give you constructive feedback, talk about the aspects of English terminology, grammar, accent, proficiency. This person might also have the ability to talk about nuances of English or the impact that culture has on your English acquisition. This person could teach you grammar, vocabulary, idiomatic expressions. What is the name of this person? Synonyms, mentor, coach. Do you know? Well, for those of you that say you have no one to speak English or practice your English with, you have an opportunity to find a teacher. English teacher. That's right. Now, there are many different teachers out there. It's your choice. You can find a teacher in your country, in your city, face-to-face, online. It's your choice. And I would suggest to you that if you're going to find a teacher, you might want to look at the qualifications that that particular person has. Qualifications I'm defining as education, certifications, work experience, skills and talents. Yes, there are teachers that you can practice your English with. Now, there are some teachers out there that do free teaching. That is their choice. If you're going to use a teacher, it's called a service. And most teachers, if teaching's a job and a profession, then they're going to pay, or they have a right to get paid for their services. But here's the beautiful thing. You have the opportunity, you have the responsibility to find a teacher within your particular budget range. So, you want to practice your English? There's no one to speak English with? Have you thought about a teacher? One last thing. Now, certainly, you can have a preference. There's nothing the matter with preference. Preference I define as partiality. But I would encourage you, if you are going to find a teacher, then it is your responsibility to interview that teacher. You know what works for, or you know what works best for you. And one last thing about that. I would say this. Preference is one thing, but please do not, well, not please do not. I want you to think critically about something. Just because someone is a native English speaker does not make he or she a good teacher. Have you ever thought about that before? What is your mother tongue? Let's say, for example, I come to you and I say, hey, you know what? I want to learn French. I want to learn Spanish. I want to learn Arabic or Farsi. Can you teach me your mother tongue? Some people would say no. But why? Your mother tongue is. So think about it this way. If your mother tongue, if somebody asks you, whatever your mother tongue is, could you teach me the respective language? Most people would say no. If that's the case, English is no different. Just because I'm from the United States of America does not necessarily mean I can teach you English. Why? Because it's an art, it's a skill, it's a job, it's a profession. I made the decision to go back and get my certifications. Why? Because I came from the business world. Why? Because education and certifications, along with work experience, skills, and talents, are important to me. So, you might want to use critical thinking, but that's up to you. So at the end of the day, what I'm going to suggest to you is this. I don't understand why. I don't need to understand why, but what's interesting to me is when I hear people say, a lot of people say, I don't have anyone to practice English with, I sometimes don't understand that. Is that just something that normally comes out of their mouth? Maybe they really don't think that they have anyone to speak with? Is that used, that particular statement, I don't have anyone to practice with, or I don't have anyone to speak English with, is that used as something as a way of not taking accountability and responsibility? Is those particular phrases used as, you know what, it's someone else's responsibility to do it? I don't know. And I'm not going to judge that, but here's what I know. If English is important to you, for whatever reason, if you have free resources, and you have resources that you have to pay for, and you utilize neither one of them, is English that important to you? And only you can answer that question. But for me, as someone who knows to speak another language other than English, for me as an individual, I want to share something with you that might have benefit for you. One of the things that I recognized in my life, a lot of things, but here's something I've recognized in my life. If something is important to me, I must find the time and the resources to do it. So if English, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, those listening to this video, is important to you, it is your choice to find the time, the resources, the system, the methodology, the material that works best for you. I don't have anyone to practice or speak English with. This is Teacher Will. Thank you for listening. If you're new to the ATW family, our theme for this year is courage. That's right, courage. Do you have the boldness, the daring, the bravado, the nerve to achieve your particular goals? Click on that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so that when I drop the video, you're made aware of it. Let me know what you think about this video in the comments section. And one last thing I want you to remember, whatever you decide to do as it relates to your English journey, the choice is yours. But please do not say that there are not any resources out there to help whom? You.